Around 10 million years ago, at the end of the Miocene epoch, a vast tropical rainforest stretched across Africa. This was the kingdom of early primates. The stable environment and abundant food supply from fruits and leaves allowed them to develop excellent climbing skills. Spending most of their lives among the treetops. As the climate grew drier, seasons became more distinct. The endless rainforest gradually disappeared, giving way to sparse woods and eventually vast grassland savannas. Survival pressure became harsher than ever. Fruit was no longer plentiful year-round, and the open ground was full of dangerous predators. In this harsh era, a new chapter of evolution began. About 7 million years ago, Sahelanthropus tchadensis appeared. Its skull housed a brain of about 350 cubic centimeters. Sahelanthropus began holding its body more upright and moved on two legs. Standing upright was not a choice, but a necessary adaptation to a changing environment. Walking on two legs consumed far less energy than knuckle walking across wide open spaces. It also raised the eyes to spot predators from afar and, most importantly, freed the hands from locomotion, opening limitless potential for the future. These first steps, though still clumsy, were revolutionary. The transition to upright walking did not happen overnight, but was refined over centuries. Sahelanthropus was likely amphibious in terms of habitat, able to walk on the ground while retaining excellent climbing skills. Its bone structure shows long, strong, gripping branches. Living between two worlds was a smart survival strategy. The ground offered new food sources like roots and insects, but also posed dangers from larger predators like lions. Trees remained a safe refuge for rest and protection. This fragile balance created dual selective pressures. Individuals better at moving on the ground had an advantage in finding food. While those still able to climb quickly survived predator attacks. Daily struggles at the forest savanna edge gradually perfected upright walking over millions of years. The African environment became not only drier, but also unpredictable, with sudden weather shifts. Heavy rains could turn hard ground into slippery mud and create obstacles like fallen trees. Every challenge was a test of adaptation. Overcoming a fallen tree required upright posture. Coordinated knees and hips for a jump, and arms outstretched for balance. These movements shaped the body for bipedalism. Gluteal muscles, once less important in climbing, became essential for balance. The pelvis evolved to be shorter and wider, supporting the weight of the upper body. Each leap over an obstacle, every step on uneven ground. Contributed to reshaping the hominin skeleton. The greatest advantage of free hands was the ability to grasp and manipulate objects. At first, this meant picking up a branch for defense or throwing a stone at rivals. Throwing stones, though primitive, was a cognitive leap. It required coordination between eyes and hands, estimating distance and trajectory. More importantly, it revealed a basic understanding of cause and effect. One's action could influence outcomes at a distance. This was the seed of tool use. By using objects from the environment to extend bodily abilities, Sahelanthropus marked a profound change. Instinct slowly gave way to intelligence. For a small primate without sharp claws or fangs, night on the savannah was full of danger. Predators like hyenas, with keen senses, ruled the dark. These pressures pushed Sahelanthropus to strengthen group bonds. Living in groups improved predator detection and allowed collective defense. Social bonding, communication, and cooperation became crucial. Weak or injured individuals depended on the group for survival. Sahelanthropus tchadensis may not have lasted long enough to become human, but it began a crucial evolutionary trend. Took the first steps out of the trees, faced new challenges, and began a long evolutionary experiment that spanned millions of years. Over generations, these adaptations solidified, paving the way for new, better-suited species to life on the ground. About 4.4 million years ago, in what is now Ethiopia, Ardipithecus ramidus appeared. Unlike Sahelanthropus, its skeleton was more complete. It lived in woodland areas, with scattered trees and open spaces. Its movement was unique. The pelvis was adapted for bipedal walking on the ground. But its foot still had an opposable big toe like apes, which allowed strong grip on branches. Ardipithecus walked on the soles of its feet while climbing, not hanging by its arms. This combination shows that the path toward upright walking was more complex than a simple switch. Our ancestors experimented with many forms of locomotion in different environments. And Ardipithecus ramidus represents a key evolutionary stage, both a ground-walking biped and an agile forest climber. Spending more time on the ground opened new dietary opportunities. Ardipithecus ate a wider range of food, including fruit, insects, small mammals, and bird eggs. Access to protein and fat was a major step forward. But life on the ground also meant facing predators more often. Its canine teeth had shrunk significantly. This might have reduced social conflict within the group, but it also made them more vulnerable. To compensate, simple tools like branches became crucial. Swinging a stick for defense wasn't just reflexive, it was deliberate strategy. Once again, the freed hands proved vital. Standing upright to flee and using tools for protection became key survival advantages. Essential resources like food and water were constant points of competition. In confrontations with other primates, Ardipithecus displayed progress in tool use. Throwing stones into water to scare off rivals was a more sophisticated strategy. It wasn't meant to injure, but to create a psychological effect. Loud noise and splashing water. This showed growing cognition, the ability to influence others' behavior without direct violence. Ardipithecus ramidus provides an invaluable glimpse into a prototype hominin, still carrying climbing heritage yet fully committed to bipedalism. Its heels were solid, but its forefoot remained flexible, with an opposable big toe. Over time, as the environment grew drier and open grasslands replaced woodlands, climbing became less advantageous and natural selection began favouring individuals with feet better suited for walking and running long distances. Big toe gradually aligned with the others for stronger push-off, and an arch formed in the foot to act as a shock absorber. From the lineage of Ardipithecus ramidus, a close relative continued to adapt, leaving increasingly specialized footprints on damp earth, leading to the rise of a new genus, Australopithecus. About 3.6 million years ago at Letoli, Tanzania, a volcano erupted, spreading fine ash over the land. A light rain moistened the ash, and then Australopithecus afarensis walked across it, leaving footprints that remain to this day. These beings were fully bipedal and skilled walkers. Their feet were nearly modern. The big toe no longer opposed the others but aligned with them, and a clear arch had developed. Their gait was a heel-strike style, efficient and enduring. They had completely abandoned foot-grasping ability in exchange for a firm base for ground travel. Though their brains were still small, about 400 to 500 cc, and their arms relatively long, below the waist, they were true bipeds. The experiment of walking on two legs had succeeded, leaving a lasting milestone in evolution. Savanna life required dietary flexibility. When fruit was scarce, Australopithecus turned to harder to access foods like underground tubers and roots. These were energy rich but protected by tough skins and buried deep. Here, tool use became essential. Using a stone to break open a hard tuber was an example of food processing. It required not just strength, but intelligence recognizing a problem, finding a solution, and carrying out an action. This behavior spurred cognitive growth. Australopithecus had to learn which stones worked best, heavy and hard enough. Repeated tool use may have forged new neural connections, laying the foundation for more advanced toolmaking later. Fire was a powerful and terrifying force on the African plains. Lightning-sparked wildfires devastated landscapes. Early hominins surely fled in fear. But after the flames passed, opportunities arose. Fires cleared grass, exposing hidden animals, and most importantly, accidentally cooked underground tubers and roots. Eating cooked food was a potential evolutionary turning point. Cooking broke down tough cell structures and proteins, making food softer, easier to digest, and richer in available nutrients. This meant more energy for less effort in chewing and digestion. At this stage, Australopithecus did not know how to control fire, only benefiting passively from it. But the taste and advantages of cooked food may have awakened a new curiosity in their minds. As relatively small and slow creatures, Australopithecus afarensis remained especially saber-toothed cats. Collective defense, using sticks and stone throwing, was their survival strategy. This required growing communication skills and social complexity. Another major change was the addition of meat to their diet, likely scavenged from carcasses. After big predators finished eating, Australopithecus could smash bones with stones to extract marrow rich in fat and protein. Bone marrow was a superfood of the ancient world, dense in calories and vital fatty acids for brain development. The brain is extremely energy hungry, and this energy source may have fueled its gradual growth. Breaking bones for marrow was not just feeding, it was nature's way of nurturing intelligence. Around 2.5 million years ago, another branch of the Australopithecus family appeared in South Africa, Australopithecus africanus.
Ah, look! What is it?
Its teeth and skull showed some advanced features, though the brain was still about the same size. Its real progress lay in behavior. They moved from passively scavenging to opportunistic hunting. Using a natural trap, such as a sinkhole, to catch rabbits revealed planning and problem-solving skills. They were no longer waiting for chance, but learning to exploit the environment intelligently. Their tool use also became more systematic and effective. They not only cracked bones, but may have carefully chosen stones with the right shape and weight. They used bones, teeth, and horns of animals as tools as well. Using animal parts wasn't limited to tools or food. Draping an animal hide over the body, though simple, reflected an important cognitive step. The purpose wasn't fashion or modesty, but practical adaptation. The hide could protect from insect bites, shield against the harsh sun, or keep warm on cool nights. It showed the ability to see an object and assign it a completely new function. This was an early form of symbolic thought and creativity. It meant the brain was beginning to imagine the world not just as it was, but as it could be. First spark of imagination and invention. The peak of Australopithecus africanus's behavioral development was the shift toward organized active hunting. Coordinated group hunts to corner and bring down small antelope demanded advanced skills. Required effective communication to synchronize movements, role division, Some chased, others threw stones, others wielded sticks, and deep understanding of prey behavior to predict its escape routes. Successful group hunts provided valuable nutrition and strongly reinforced social structures. They promoted cooperation, sharing, and trust. In these early hunts, the complex social bonds that define humanity began to take shape. At the end of the Australopithecus era, a major climate shift struck. Africa became drier and colder, and grasslands expanded further. Selective pressures grew intense. Some Australopithecus evolved into robust forms, with massive jaws and teeth for eating tough plants. But another branch took a different path, the path of intelligence and tool-making. A diet richer in meat and marrow provided the energy needed for a bigger brain. Processing carcasses and making more sophisticated tools created selective pressure for higher cognition. The pivotal moment came when an Australopithecus didn't just pick up a stone, but noticed a sharp-edged flake, realizing it could cut flesh far more effectively than teeth or nails. This leap from using naturally available tools to deliberately shaping them was revolutionary. That leap gave birth to a new genus, Homo. It was the dawn of a new era, the era of creative hands.